Today's video, we're going to talk about how AI SERPs are affecting PPC results. And the answer to that question is, yes, they're affecting results quite a bit. And I'm in perfect position to be able to talk about this because at our firm, we manage about 50 different Google Ads accounts alone and have saw how this, when crept in, how it's affected our campaign results. And to be clear, we're talking about these AI search results that are now commonly at the top of Google, how this is actually affecting the ad results, which are now, the ads are a little bit further down the page than they were before, and it just demands a lot more attention from their users as a whole. Google, of course, is doing this with the end goal of mind of monetizing AI search result itself. They're going to embed ads within that AI search result text. This is actually something that Google themselves have said. So for what they take away, eventually it's going to add back in via more revenue for Google. Otherwise, why would they do it? Naturally, they're trying to attract users to the platform so that when they have a search for, eventually and have a need for rain boots, they're going to get that search, but they're also going to monetize the AI search result itself. And I'll talk a bit more about that, but the main thing I wanted to convey in this video here today was how much your PPC results will be affected if you're bidding on terms on Google that are more info-based or where people are asking questions. And if you're not, by the way, basically that, you're missing out on a huge opportunity because you can make so much more money in your business if you figured out how to market information to users and take that captured audience and turn it into sales. Whether you're selling health products, doesn't matter what you're selling. When people are looking for how to buy X or how to fix X, your product or service fixes X. If you're not running ads on those search results, you're basically crazy because it's really easy to monetize those searches, at least in a small market where, it's hard for you to get volume otherwise. You don't have the liberty to really pick and choose the different search results that you show up on and just have a big enough company from that alone. So with that said, if you aren't doing it, you should. But if you are doing it, this is how much your results are going to be affected. And we do this in quite a bit of different markets. That is run ads for clients that are looking for, where their customers or potential clients are looking for specific answers. And we're providing an article to send them to. That article sells a product or service in a lot of cases. And then we're monetizing that. And then I'll let you know how much our results are affected since on those particular types of campaigns when the AI search results there, which is basically there every time now in today's environment, at the time of making this video at least. So I'll have that case study for you. Before I get into the content note, though, if you do not know who I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, we do not charge our clients management fees until we can get them a certain minimum lift in the profitability. And that profit ad that we add to their business is basically going to pay for the management service itself. So we're paying ourselves out of the profit that we're making for the client. That should tell you something about the quality of the information that I'm sharing with you on today's video. 50% of Google searchers have AI search results now. So literally 50% of searches, an AI result box is there at the top of Google now. Though it's pretty much exclusively on info-based searches, at least for right now. I see eventually Google's going to have AI search results for most searches when their AI algorithm improves enough where they can displace the typical ads that are showing and ultimately then monetize the ad space better than they could before when they inevitably weave in ads within the AI result itself. That said, if you are monetizing info-based searches, the AI search results is going to affect you some. The question is, how much? Well, we have a case study here that I ran where I actually compared year-over-year results, March of 2025 to March of 2024, and we go over how much our conversion volume has changed since this change has occurred versus last year at the same time where AI search results basically weren't there or basically not existing at that time, meaningful way. Before I go through what those results are though, if you haven't taken the time to subscribe to this channel yet, you absolutely should, because I take a lot of time on this channel to share exactly what's working at our firm as well as what doesn't work. And it's coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy as my sole job at the firm to give you this knowledge. Ultimately, we manage dozens of ad accounts, spend countless millions a month in advertising spend to find out what works and what doesn't work with ads. So you're getting information straight from the source on this channel. Whereas most channels, you're going to get second, third hand information. You're getting it straight from me, myself, doing the work, getting my hands dirty and seeing it for myself. So if you want to subscribe to anybody to be able to make millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, you want to subscribe to this channel at least first and foremost. And then with that said, you should also check out my blog. If you like the channel, you're going to love my blog as well. You can find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has the strategies that I'm personally using to guarantee results for clients that are firm, with screenshots, with everything you need to use them. So I highly encourage you to check that out as well. By the way, any question about anything I'm covering here today, leave me a question below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any marketing or advertising question that you'd like. I'm more than happy to be able to answer those questions, just as a way of saying thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow. So how much is the results that for the ad campaigns that target info-based searches going to affect you? Now, the case study I have here is in the hair regrowth clinic space. So the doctor doing hair transplants, doctor who does like PRP treatments and stuff like that. In that particular case, we had, and what we were targeting with this, which like I mentioned at the start of this video, you should be ultimately targeting, like if you were a doctor like that, targeting hair regrowth doctors, hair transplant doctors, PRP services and the like, even though PRP in and itself is majorly restricted now. Basically just promoting the hair transplants at this time. With that said, you could make a lot more, at least twice as much, if not 3, 4, 5, 10 times as much, monetizing the search results where people are asking questions that pertain to your niche. Why? Because nobody else is likely doing it in your whole niche, so it's wide open. Therefore, the traffic is really cheap because Google fundamentally still is a bidding system for the most part. So whereas you may be paying $10 a click, $20 a click to get someone to your site from somebody typing in hair transplant clinics, you could be paying 80 cents a click for somebody typing in what's the best hair transplant clinic in Dallas, or how to pick a hair transplant clinic, or do hair transplants even work? Something like that. We would target terms like how to regrow hair, ways to regrow hair, and all the like. And then we would send them to what I call an advertorial style lander. We use these all the time now. It's my favorite tool to make money now, to monetize the info searches. So if somebody's typing in how to regrow hair, there's an ad that says new hair transplant method, gives you a head of hair and not for much money. They click on that ad, they go to an article, they read the article about it. The article recommends a particular clinic that has this particular treatment that is super effective, not much money. And then they click through and then they go to a landing page, they opt in. So it's getting a lead that's actually not quite as qualified as somebody typing in hair transplant clinics on Google itself, but pretty close. I mean, for the most part, there's not that much difference. When somebody reads an article and then goes to your site to opt in, they're pretty invested in the process. Versus somebody who goes to Google and types in hair transplant clinic, they know they're going to maybe hire somebody, but they also don't know you from 5 other companies. So you actually end up getting a more serious buyer because they're not contacting 5 companies. And then when you call them, they don't answer because the other guy who they also filled out the form, they called them first. And so that's the main reason why these leads are actually just as good a quality and why you should be going for them. As it pertains to the topic and title of this video, AI search results. Now, how much do you think the AI search results affected our campaign here that would target the info searches and that funnel that I mentioned that we set up? Well, the answer to that is we had 64 conversions in March of 2024 specifically that we had per month on this particular campaign that we were running in a geographic area of a certain radius around our client's metro area. So basically like a 60-mile radius around their market. Running the same exact campaign since then. 2025 itself, March, apples to apples comparison here, year over year analysis. We went from 64 conversions the year before to 41 conversions specifically. So we dropped significantly the number of conversions we were getting, in my mind, because of the AI box, because we were running this campaign for years and years. And I can tell you for a fact, the results have not went backwards since we started. Gradually been a little bit more, and it's plateaued over time, but it hasn't went, negative 30, 40% like this. In my mind, it has to be this. To back this up, we checked our other accounts, and it's a similar story across the board. So it isn't just a one-off antidote, hey, this happened to our account. Maybe it was due to the AI box, maybe it wasn't. No, it damn well is happening across the board. And it's going to happen to you if you are monetizing info searches. Most people watching this video probably aren't monetizing info searches in their market. People typing in how to fix a broken toilet, but if it does, this is how much it'll affect you. But it'll also tell you when eventually Google does have AI search results displacing your other ads where you are targeting buying searches, what kind of an impact it's going to have once you see it happen and therefore how to deal with it. For the most part though, I will admit that I think once Google starts having the AI box show up for stuff like hire plumber, buy rain boots, whatever, they're also going to have the ads already baked into the result, the AI result, mainly because it will cut into their revenue too much. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what you normally would think. What I do fear is once that day happens, it's going to come, in my mind, like for sure. The keyword targeting that you had before, where you were targeting, buy rain boots as a keyword and you sell rain boots, your ad's going to show up for somebody looking for how to buy rain boots instead of buy rain boots. So Google is going to take your keyword, they're going to have it show up for more than that, and it's going to screw up your results because of that. As Google rolls this out, your keywords are going to run broader, and this has been the trend over the years. But even in the situation where the AI result shows up when a user just types in buy rain boots itself, the result in and itself is going to be like, there's a lot to consider when you're buying rain boots. There's actually several vendors that have high rated boots. The below are the best rated ones that we could find, blah, blah, blah. 3 different boots are there. That in itself should affect you if you aren't the one that's recommended. If you are the one that's recommended, you're going to be the winner in this situation. So there's going to be less to recommend. And I think what's going to happen here is Google is going to charge more per click and just have less advertisers, which goes along with what I was mentioning for months, if not years now on this channel, that if you're going to make money on Google ads, you have to be better. You have to be better in terms of click-through rates, in terms of conversion rates than your competition, because Google in their mind, ideally would just send all the traffic to the top advertisers because that helps their users get the best result, makes people want to come back to Google to use it in the future, therefore giving Google more revenue, more loyalty of the platform. If they can recommend less options, giving the user less confusion, therefore getting a better result as well in terms of it's easier to decide, and then the decision that they come up with gives you a better result overall, then if you're just mediocre, you may just be out of business. They're just going to cut you out. So my message to you mainly would be is if you're not doing info-based search targeting, to get better and get better in a hurry. And that includes better ads, better landing pages / websites to get better click-through rates, better conversion rates, but also better reviews, having better descriptions on your website so that the algorithm understands better what to recommend, all of it technically. And then for that matter, in the case with the info search campaign that I mentioned for the hair regrowth clinic, the reason why it actually dropped conversions clearly is because it pushes the ads down. So whereas before the ad was right up top, now it's AI box and then ad underneath it, which if you're not sure if this is happening to you, or you just want somebody to put together a campaign for you that will work on a guaranteed basis, reach out to me at our agency at guaranteedppc.com and I'll have a conversation with you about it. I also have ad templates available. If we've worked in your niche market before, we can sell you the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that work for your niche market, and you copy paste that into your ad account, you'll get the same results we are in a different city or country that you're in, and save yourself a ton of time trying to figure out what works in your market. I also offer coaching and consulting, by the way. So if you just need some one-off advice, you can get on a call with me, and in 30 minutes, almost for sure we'll be able to tell you how to actually get unstuck in terms of your revenue and your profit, and not just be able to look at your ads, but find out, that your ads are not working, maybe because your website's an issue, your landing page is an issue, your pricing strategy is an issue, and get to the bottom of what you need to improve to get your ads to finally work. But with that said, also, I want to mention here, going back to what I was saying here, AI is certainly going, as per Google's own words, going to incorporate in the search and shopping ads directly. So it's not just going to, like I mentioned a minute ago, the AI box, like for now, pushing down the ads, it's going to actually displace the ads, and your ads are going to be within the AI box. And at that time, your campaigns are probably going to change up in performance somewhat, because the type of user that clicks on an ad within the AI box is certainly it's going to be a little bit different than they would, seeing 4 ads there and clicking through. And that may be good or bad based upon, the situation. And in my mind, though, mainly as they can make less recommendations, people are going to be apt to take Google's recommendation. And so there can only be one Google favorite there, versus before there was room for 4 guys, there's going to be less room for advertisers in general. That's the way that I see it going, but things could change. For that matter, I also wanted to let you know that I'm also looking for companies to invest in. If you think you have a great product or service, it has everything it needs, but it's just ready for marketing and advertising. We have invested in several companies where we've invested ad spend and our resources to run all the ads for the company, and we'll take a percentage of the revenue growth in the company, and those companies explode once they do it. We're looking for other companies to do this with right now that are good candidates that we feel like we can grow quickly. If you're interested in that, reach out to me at my site at guaranteeppc.com as well, and we'll see if you're somebody that we want to work with. Ultimately, as long as you have something that has great potential, we want to work with you. So that it's getting sales already, and you might be growing by 30% a year, but you want to grow 300% a year. Hit us up. You're the perfect type of company and opportunity that we want to work with. With that said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said ad campaigns was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.